Jerry Brown here with Jerry Brown Travels.
Lori here. Today we're gonna go for a hike, so come along with us. We're gonna show you how to hike, especially this time of year. It have a waterfall.
Yeah, this is a rainy season, and so the waterfalls are just flowing quite abundantly. In this video, we're going to talk about question and answer some questions, like as an example, people want to know, is it safe to drive in Mexico? We're going to answer that question. Somebody else has asked the question is, can they drive their car in Mexico and have a foreign plated car? How does that work? Another question is, I'm going to clarify a comment that I made in a video about our Baja excursion and talked about visas. I need to clarify that, and I'll do that in a question and answer here. Another question was, when is the best time to travel in Mexico? So we're going to give you the pros and cons on traveling in Mexico and what time of the year is best for you to travel in Mexico. Also, we're going to look at a question that somebody has asked for Lori. You know, Lori has escaped the killing fields of Cambodia, and they have some questions around that. Lori will answer that for you. And we have other ones, and so stay tuned. This video is going to be packed with a lot of information and also a little fun thing. We hope that we'll show you our little day hike in the waterfall area here of Ajijic, Mexico. Graceful, huh? Whoops, is that a blooper? That's a blooper. One of the questions that we get asked a lot here is, when is the best time of the year to travel in Mexico? Okay, so you have different regions. You have your beach, and then you have basically your inland. And so at the beach, the best time is October through April. That's typically when the snowbirds come down. Of course, they know the best weather because they want to get away from the snow, and that's why they're called snowbirds. They fly down, or they bring their motorhome down to the beach communities. It's a great time to get away, Christmas and holidays, so the beach is a good time during October through April. But when you get into like April through September at the beach, you don't want to go there at that time unless you really want a low price, and so hotels and everything are quite a bit cheaper at that time. So then, because it's very hot during the summer months, so cancel out going to the beach that time of the year. Now let's look at the interior part of Mexico. So the interior part of Mexico, say at the higher elevations, like where we're at here in Ajijic, we're at 5,000 feet. So the weather for the snowbirds is October through April. And now it's actually, we feel it gets cold down here. When you're talking January, February, it can get as low as 45 degrees. And they don't have heaters in the houses. Fireplaces, some of them have them, so it can get quite chilly here. But of course, if you're from Canada or snow country, then that doesn't seem to be a big issue because you're getting away from such cold weather up north. Now during the summer months, so we're talking May, June, July, August, September through the middle of October, then it's a rainy season. So here in the upper areas of the inland Mexico, it's a rainy season, so it gets cooler. But there's...
Wow, look at this. It's raining so hard, so the street look like a river. See here, it just run like crazy. See in the carretera, like a river too.
Well, we made it to the upper falls. You may not even be able to hear me because it's so noisy up here, but you can see behind us here, look at the beautiful falls. And there's actually, what is it, 3 falls up here, Lori?
Yeah, it's a 3 falls.
3 falls, and it's really beautiful. The air is crisp and cool. Lori, another question we get to ask, they're curious, where can they buy one of my shirts? Where are my shirts at? And tell them a little bit about.
Yeah, Jerry's shirt is in his closet. So you cannot buy anywhere. At least Jerry agreed to give you one. So what we do, that shirt he wear, that is Jerry design, and I do the sewing.
Actually, we both collaborate on the design, and we look at what we think's appealing. And also, it's funny because we have a lot of shirts when we travel to other countries, and we try to use a pattern that is appropriate for that country. As an example, if we go to Thailand, we have elephants, and so we'll have a design with elephants. So if you see any of our videos in Thailand or Cambodia, then you'll see we have a design for that country. Slippery rocks and wet shoes. Oh my goodness, who wants to have that? Oh, what the heck, let's just go for it. Get the shoes wet. Get them wet early in this hike, then we don't have to worry about it. Heck with all that trying to jump over rocks. I'm just gonna walk through it. Another question people are asking, if they come down to Mexico, is it advisable to drive their car? Well, and then other ones want to be a little more specific. They want to know about coming into the Lake Chapala area, if it's advisable to drive their car or fly in, rent a car, and that. So let's talk about that. Now, if you plan on being here, let's say for 6 months in Mexico, and you plan on doing some exploring, seeing some of the colonial towns, then I would recommend you bring your car. Make sure, of course, that you have proper Mexican car insurance coming in. The roadways are excellent. They have these paved roadways that are very clean, very safe, maintained very well. There's little rest stops along the way with convenience stores and gas stations. No problem with that. And that's what we use when we're traveling in the interior part of Mexico. Now, that's a great way of seeing Mexico because it gives you the freedom to bounce off into other little towns and check out other little areas that you couldn't do if you were riding in a bus. Okay, now let's say about coming here specifically. And let's say, again, if you're going to come for an extended amount of time, I would say a minimum of 3 months, then I would recommend bringing your car also. It just gives you a little more freedom of getting around. Do you need it? No, because along the Lake Chapala area, and you can see behind us here, that's Ajijic right there, and it's not a very clear day, so you can't make it out exactly, but there it is. And along here, you can get buses, and you also can get Ubers, and you can get taxis. So a lot of people like to fly down, and then they like to go that way. And we recommend that also if you're going to be here for a short amount of time, is go ahead and fly down. You can rent a car, some people will do that, and you figure about $600 a month to rent a car, and that would include your insurance, would be included in that rental agreement. So the thing is about driving your car here. If you have a 180-day visa, you can drive your car, foreign plated car. If you have a temporary visa, you can drive it also. You can drive a foreign plated car. Now, a temporary visa will last up to 4 years. You can keep renewing that if, let's say, you really feel strong about having your own car. Maybe you bought a new car and you don't want to give it up. They'll take such a loss on it by trying to sell it. So then you want to come down and you want to live here full time, but every 4 years you would need to reapply for your temporary visa, but you can keep your foreign plated car. That's a meaning. What I mean by that is a vehicle that could be anywhere in the world. You could have it from France or Italy, or you could have it from the United States or Canada. So that would be considered a foreign plated car. So I hope that answers your question. Always remember, make sure you have adequate car insurance. Well, there's going to be a lot of noise because there's a lot of water coming down behind us here. We're at the lower falls here in Upper Ajijic. A lot of people don't know about the lower falls, and they walk around it to get to the upper falls. And actually, this is one of the prettier falls that you'll see.
Yeah, and it got double fall too. You can see that behind us there.
See the two falls behind us here?
Okay, this is my resting camp. So you come up like 400 feet. 400 or 4,000?
Well, we're at 5,000 feet elevation.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's easy to run out of breath here. We probably have walked about a quarter of a mile so far.
Especially I didn't hike for so many years. So this is the first time I hike in 5 years. And oh my God, my breath's getting short.
Lori, somebody just asked this question. They had seen the video that you were in where you described living in Cambodia during the killing fields era. And they're curious on when was that you were in the concentration camps, and when did you eventually leave and get out of that?
Well, one of the companies that took over to Cambodia is 1975. 1975, and then I was in there 4.5 years full in the concentrate camp. And when I escaped out is how long ago? If I look at that back, it's about 42 years already.
And then the United Nations was able to create a way of getting out. And then where did you go to?
The first of all, I escaped out from Cambodia to Thailand. It took me 15 days by walking 15 days to go to Thailand, and then kind of hang around in Thailand maybe about 18 months or 24 months. I don't really remember now. And eventually United Nations was kind of pick us up to go to the other country. So I choose to go to Hawaii, where my family is. That was 1981.
81. And so eventually you and I met in Hawaii.
Yeah, and I got too much trouble in Hawaii, and I get into divorce, and I met Jerry 1990 in Hawaii. So he picked me up and cleaned me up to be a diamond.
I say Lori was my diamond in the rough, the diamond in the mud. And she says, will you clean me up? Now that she has a diamond. That's so sweet. Thank you, honey. I know that'll...
Okay. Thank you for watching my videos about my story. That's the best I can tell you, and I very appreciate it.
Okay, I need to clear up one of the questions that somebody asked in our video that we made on Baja, Mexico. I talk about qualifying for a temporary and a permanent visa, and I wasn't very clear on that. So let me get clear with you. Hopefully this will answer the question on that. What the Mexican government requires, if you want to live here in the interior part of Mexico, and you want to live here full-time, year-round, so you don't have to leave the country every 6 months, you either get a temporary visa or a permanent visa. And this is where I messed up, is what you have to do is you have to show the Mexican government when you apply that you have a adequate funds in, let's say, a checking account or a savings account. It would show that every month you have that amount of money coming in. So now you don't, so as an example, $1,800 for a temporary and a permanent, about $2,500. You don't have to spend that money down here, but you have to show the Mexican government you have that. You could have, show that you have $1,800 and come down and try to spend $1,000 a month living here. And so the clarification is that you have to show the Mexican government that you have that amount of money, that you can actually provide for yourself, but you don't have to use that money to live here. So when you get into like $2,500 and you want a permanent visa, you could come down and you could live on $1,500 a month. You don't need to spend all that money. I hope that clarifies for you. Go ahead. Did I totally? Okay, let's take care of a little business now. If you feel you've received value when you watch our videos, hey, give us a like, a thumbs up, and a comment. Also, please subscribe. We would appreciate that. Don't forget to turn on your notification. This way, you will get notified every week when a new video comes up. And remember, we post new videos every Friday at 5 p.m. California time. So we're constantly revising our selection for you. So we have some exciting new videos coming up. I know you'll like them. Thank you very much for subscribing in advance. Also, tell a friend about this YouTube video station. It may help them and they would appreciate it. And guess what? We would appreciate it. Thanks very much. Well, the hike's over. Our hike was 3 hours. Yeah. So what we've done is we're stopping here before we go home. We're having breakfast. We like this little restaurant. It's actually a Chinese restaurant, and they have delicious, delicious vegetarian omelets. And why they're so good, they use Chinese vegetables, so like bean sprouts, and also they use a green pea that they put in there, and it's fresh and has this interesting flavor. So we like to come here if we're going to have a little quick break, because it's just down the street from our house, so we'll be able to get...
That is in Jerry closet. I can't say that. Second.
Answer time, where we're going to have motorcycles going by and making it real loud for us. Bang, bang. Okay. This time of year is the rainy season, and so we get a lot of motorcycles coming by. There goes another one. Okay.
Look like a very good omelette.